starting this hour off with arguably our favorite guest on the show throughout the entire year. It's Sal Pal Antonio on ESPN. Paulie, it's 20 years this season on the matchup show on ESPN. Can you believe that? Congrats on that, Sal. Thanks for the time. How are you, pal?
It's week 3. What have you guys been waiting for? I was on every week last year. I mean, come on. Well, how did I get on the pay no never mind list? What am I, Tommy D and Goodfellas here? What's going on?
You're right. That's on us.
I know. My boys in South Jersey, Nicky Blue and Frankie Smiles, they're like, well, how come you're not on VSiN? I said, they haven't called me. I said, well, you must be on the pay no member line list. What's going on?
Well, the correction has been made.
Am I back now every week? Am I back? Is to kind of count on a call from you guys? Or
yes.
what?
Let's do that. Yeah, let's count on that for sure moving forward.
Don't send anyone after us.
Yeah,
hey, don't do me any favors, all right? But if you want me on every week, I'll be on, all right?
Yeah, okay, very good. Any concern at all with the start by the Eagles, in your opinion? Are they the best team in this division? The Cowboys look awesome, Sal.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Listen, I'm a little concerned, of course, because we were concerned by two things in the offseason: the losses they had on defense in terms of personnel, and then the changing of the guard at the offensive and defensive coordinator position. It's unprecedented, right? According to our guys at ESPN Stats and Information, it's only happened once before to a team in a Super Bowl that they start the next season with new coordinators, and that was the Niners in '94. So you got to go way back. You got to go way back to get this kind of change at these two important positions. So there have been some changes, and, teams are catching up with what the Eagles are doing. They're taking away the deep ball. But the bottom line is this: when the Eagles want to run the football, they can run the football on pretty much everybody. Even Dallas, in the past, they have proven to be able to take Micah Parsons out of the pass rush game by running right at him. You look around the league, we're going into week 3. Week 3 in the NFL in 2023, what's the number one trend that I see? It's that teams are struggling with offensive line play across the board. Everybody is, except a couple of teams that are doing really well. Number 1, Dallas, doing very well with their offensive line. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles, doing very well with their offensive line. But you go to other teams on the other end of things. Even the Chiefs, week 1, struggled a little bit with their offensive line against the Lions. Steelers struggling on offensive line. Packers a little bit. Ravens for sure. Browns definitely. And then, of course, the Jets and the Patriots really struggling with their offensive line. And I think the main reason is you're not hitting in training camp. It's very difficult to develop chemistry because you're not hitting on the offensive line in training camp. You're not playing your top offensive linemen in the preseason because you're afraid to get them hurt. So it takes, guys, it takes about 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks for some teams to develop some chemistry on their offensive line.
Do you still think the Eagles will win the NFC East, or are you more inclined to think Dallas will get it done?
Well, listen, I live in Philly, right? So first of all, the guy who cuts my hair is an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
The guy who cuts my lawn's an Eagles fan, okay? Delivers my mail. I like those services, okay? And they all listen to your show, okay, because they all know I'm on. So I'm going to pick the Eagles. How about that?
All right.
Is that a good idea?
All right. I understand. Right. You don't want to make any.
Is that fair? Is that fair for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they win by a touchdown Monday night?
No, I do not think that they win by a touchdown Monday night. That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm shocked, honestly, that the Bucs are such a big home dog in this game. What is it, 6.5 or 6?
It's down now to 5.5. And you know what? It's down to 5 at some spots.
You know why? Because people jumped on the number. There's no question people jumped on that number. They saw that and said, okay, well, A, who's the best quarterback on third down right now in the NFL? Baker Mayfield. Who's not turning the ball over right now at the quarterback position? Baker Mayfield. So I look at two most important indicators in NFL wins and losses. Number 1, is your quarterback turning the ball over? Number 2, how does he perform on third down? And I'm looking at the numbers overall. Tampa Bay is 4-1 against the spread in September under Todd Bowles. The Eagles are 9-17 against the spread on the road since 2020. Baker Mayfield is 3-0 against the spread in his last 3 starts. 5-2 against the spread in his last 7 starts. So I kind of like. I can see why people jumped on the number. Because I think this game will be a lot closer. I think it'll be a tough game. It'll be decided in the fourth quarter.
Uncle Sal, the comeback would be, though, that Tampa could be Fugazi. I mean, Minnesota kept turning the ball over in that first game, and then it's 20-17 against the Bears with the 2 minutes left, and the Bears could be atrocious again.
Hey, you got to win football games. Look at the Eagles. They went up to New England. They played a lousy game for 3 quarters. They figured out they were in a fight, and they beat the Pats. Against the Vikings, the Vikings turned the ball over, but the Eagles' offense didn't really show much until they started running the football. So, the game is about matchups, bottom line, and coaches coach against coaches. So I really like the Bucs' new offensive coordinator, David Canales. Came out of Seattle, went to the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, won the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, and then, of course, last year, he coached up Geno Smith to near MVP levels. And he's got Baker Mayfield on schedule. And here's another thing that I look at. Here's the third thing that I look at. Top 6 teams in rushing attempts are the Browns. The Browns should be 2-0.
Yeah.
They're plus 17. They should be 2-0. They should have won that game Monday night, in my view. Mm-hmm. Browns are number 1. Cowboys are number 2. They're 2-0. Eagles are number 3 in rushing attempts. They're 2-0. Falcons are 4th. They're 2-0. Ravens are 5th. They're 2-0. Bucs are 6th in rushing attempts. They're 2-0. If you got balance on offense, 1, your quarterback's not turning the ball over, 2, and your quarterback is playing well on third down, Baker Mayfield, through 2 weeks on third down, 20 of 23 for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh. Hey, on third down, he's a third down machine right now.
That's why we love talking to you, Sal. I mean, that phenomenal numbers, great analysis. And one more question about this game then. What is your read as of right now regarding the Eagles' backfield? It was all Gainwell in game 1. He got banged up. Swift only had 2 carries. Then it was all Swift in game 2, and he looked like a Pro Bowler.
Hey, Nicky's like Sal Pal. Go with the hot hand. You got to go with DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah, you have to. You got to go with DeAndre Swift. I talked to him after the game. I met the young man for the first time after the game on Thursday night. Philly guy. Went to St. Joe's Prep.
Oh.
And, wow. He's got a lot of snap, crackle, pop in his personality. He's a good player. Holds on to the football. 1, 2, catches it out of the backfield well. Got a nice little spin move and has a little bit of explosiveness left. And here's the thing, though. The Eagles' O-line, Cowboys' O-line, San Francisco and 49ers O-line. If you have an O-line with that kind of power and strength and chemistry, you can run the ball. You can protect your quarterback on third down. It goes a long way to winning football games.
2 minutes left. What do you think? Can the Jets end this streak at home against New England? They've lost 14 in a row.
I do not think they can. They can't. I have a hard – listen, I'm one of those guys like you got to show me you did it before I'm going to say you can do it.
Yep.
And there's a reason why the Pats are 2-point favorites. I think the line is 2. I don't know if it's changed at all. And the number – here, I'm going to just put this out here, and I don't want to shock anybody by saying this. I don't think the Jets would have come much closer in that game against the Cowboys with Aaron Rodgers than they did with Zach Wilson. Now, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers would have thrown 3 successive picks to end the game, 3 successive interceptions. But with this Jets offensive line, with Dwayne Brown on the left and Mekhi Becton, they could have run the ball, guys. They couldn't hold up Dallas for 5 seconds in the football game. They had no time to pass. They couldn't push them off the line of scrimmage. I don't know. I think that I've seen this Pats defense. I saw them live. I watched them a lot on film. They're going to give them problems. And if you go back to last year, it was 10-3, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
They held them to 3 points, and that was the game that got Zach Wilson benched.
That's right. Are you hearing anything about what they're going to do with sign somebody? The Jets need to get a quarterback.
I thought it would happen a long time ago, but what do I know, apparently? I really did. I mean, I would have got Nicky touchdown, but apparently he's lost 20 pounds. He's running marathons. He's not interested in coming back.
Oh.
But, you know, they kicked the tires of Brett Rippon, but that's not going to do much for you.
No.
No, come on. Let's it's Philly here. Let's be real. Come on.
No kidding. No kidding. That was that was a Hall of Fame appearance right there, Sal. Thank you for the time. Great catching up again.
All right, we'll talk again.
Be
well
good.
done, sir.
There you go. Sal Pal Antonio, ESPN. He wants to come on once a week now. Okay.
What did he say, Jim? What were the names? Jimmy Smiles? Frankie Smiles?
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't want to get those guys upset.
No. A lot of people, too, coming over to the house.
He knows the Eagles. Remember last year?
Yeah.
He said Washington would beat them outright.
He did. He did.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.